Some of us with the blueprint, wisdom in the flow. Keep it simple, keep it steady, let the people grow. We build a vibe.
All right, let's see if I can do this music slowly.
Keeping us alive from 0 to 10K, let the revenue rise.
All right. All right. What's up, everybody? If you want to stay relevant as a coach or an online expert in 2025, you need to be adding AI to your offers. And I'm not talking about just showing your customers how to use ChatGPT or Claude. I'm talking about building AI tools directly into your coaching programs that accelerate your clients' results and allow you to charge premium prices. So if you want to compete, stay relevant, and stand out from the market, you need to understand how to integrate AI tools into your coaching programs. And the coaches that figure this out first are going to be able to charge more, get better results for their clients, and dominate their competition. So most coaches have no idea how to do this. So today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to dive into how to become an AI-powered coach if you want to win. I'll show you what this looks like in practice and how I've been able to build AI tools in our own business and how it's completely changed everything in my business. I'll also show you the exact systems that I'm using to build these AI tools fast and easy. And finally, I'm going to show you how to use these AI tools to add value to your coaching programs and your communities and how you can get started on that today. So this is an important one. Keep watching. Jeff, what's up? How you doing, man? You are muted, I believe. Not hearing your vault.
Yeah, you can hear me all right. So yeah, I'm excited about this one, man, because you know me, I do like tech. I'm not great at tech. I like AI. I don't use it nearly as gifted as you. So like, I love this opportunity because I get a chance to learn myself. So I'm stoked to just kind of see how we're gonna, basically using AI as a coach. I think is just phenomenal. So this is one of those ones that when we start brainstorming it, I get extra excited. So this one is it's gonna be a fun one, man.
Cool. I'm going to post a link in the community chat, and you guys can add your questions to this post inside of our free community, and we'll try to answer them on the call if we can. If not, we'll get to them after the call. So go ahead and post your questions there as we kind of go through this. So first thing that we're going to talk about, Jeff, is the school updates. I know you're kind of excited about this one. I'll let you announce this one. How about that? What happened this week in school?
Well, I mean, they've gone live with their videos, so you can actually right from the app. It's right from the either app and or from the desktop. You can actually just do streaming video. So I think that's a big masterful play by their part, because if you think about the complexity of having to make videos and bring them in, and then going live is a bit complicated. So guys that aren't really great at tech can just easily click a button, they're live. And then I would definitely say that one of the most impressive things I can see with school is that when they announce something, they deliver it in a time frame, and it for the most part seems to be extremely bug free, which I know no software is perfect, but when they release something, to their credit, man, they have really got it worked out. So those of you that have been waiting for this streaming ability on school, it is there. It is so cool how easy it is to stream, keep a record of it, drop it right into your classroom. It really, really impressive. So that's the biggest thing. And then still coming soon will be the recurring revenue courses and or tiers, whatever they're going to ultimately be. So I'm excited about that coming up sometime next month, probably.
Yeah, I haven't used the live feature, which I know I probably should have by now, but I've heard of other people kind of talking about it. And most of the majority of people said they like it. It's fast, it's easy, to just go live really quickly, but most prefer Zoom at this point, just for some different reasons, because of the feature set and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure that they're going to take some of the input and the feedback that they get from these schoolers that are kind of, they're pretty active in the community. So they'll be updating that and kind of adding new features to the live streaming. So that's pretty cool. I do have a pretty big high level update, and this one's nice. One that I've been waiting on forever. So the Go Collab mobile app now finally has the ability to switch between communities. So you don't have to log into different client portals all the time now. You can log into one login into Go Collab, and now you have the ability to switch to all your different communities, kind of like the school app has always had. So that is a huge one. That is one that
Huge.
I've been waiting on for a really long time because it completely improves the user experience, particularly for the mobile app for Go High Level Community. So that's a big one. I'm pretty excited that they finally did that. Any thoughts there, Joe?
No, I think it's great. I think that was one of the big hangups is you used to have to log in, then you would have to log out, log into a different one, and that was just kind of inconvenient, especially when you're even managing one. You'd have to kind of do this log in, log out stuff. So, great big step for them, man. I love it. It's great to see. Obviously, we're huge high level fans, so glad to see that they're moving the needle a bit and bringing up some of these new features that people really want and are truly helpful for the user experience. So, great stuff, man. Good job, high level.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So let's talk about some of the big wins that we had inside of Elite. I want to share my screen here. And we shared this inside of the, let me go ahead and share my screen. So I'll bring this over here. So this is inside of our, I've posted the results inside of our our free community. But Adam, one of our high ticket clients, he just closed two high ticket sales, cash collected $35,000, $35,161, and he's only been in the program less than a month. So he created an offer, went out and sold it. I mean, he's a really good sales guy, but he didn't have the offer at first, and he went out and crushed it. So that's awesome. Carrie Olson, she just used our webinar community launch process and got 11 new clients in her first month, or her first week, in 1 week. So there's the two big wins that we mentioned this week that we heard this week. So that is pretty cool. Also, something that we do pretty cool inside of Elite that I think is unique is we ran a big promotion last week in our free community and to our email list, right? And so what we do inside of Elite is when we run those promotions, I literally give breakdowns of everything I'm doing in real time. So we gave the reason why we did the offer, how we created scarcity, the bonuses that we added, and then we shared the results. So that's super cool. I think where people really like that. We also offer the swipe files, so the exact emails, text messages, everything that we use to run those promotions are inside of our paid community. So I think people really love that. What is coming up inside of what's coming up today actually is pretty cool. We actually directly after this at 12 p.m. I've got a Instagram ads expert that's coming in and teaching how to use Instagram ads to grow your communities. So check out in the calendar in the free community. There should be a link to join that at 12 p.m. So you can go right from this call and then you can jump in that call. So it should be here inside of the community. So be sure to join that. It's going to be really, really good. And then the replay will be up, for a couple of days, and then we'll put it inside of Elite. Also, let me go back to us. Also, October 7th, we are running our second 10K community boot camp. This is an 8-week boot camp where we actually help people implement. We go live and help people implement the 4 phases of our 10K community blueprint. And this is for our annual members. If you're interested in joining that, all you need to do is join Community Builders Elite as an annual member, and you get instant access to that. It's going to be pretty awesome. We'll be talking about that over the next few weeks. And then our boot campers also get pre-recorded training and these AI tools that we're going to be talking about today that they can actually install in their own business. So we give them, and we'll show you what we're talking about today, the system prompts, the knowledge bases, all that stuff so that they can build their own AI tools and start to understand how to become an AI powered coach, which is what we're going to talk about today. Anything to add on that, Jeff?
Well, I'll just say that we saw a massive amount of success for the people that came in on the boot camp, and I don't know if it's a mix of accountability where they're showing up every week and they know that they have to get certain things done. I know it's partly just on how simplified you've made everything using AI, you use all the training and everything else. But we just saw people make huge strides in their business. The wins are unbelievable. What we saw. I mean, I know you shared 2 today. There's so many of them, and I really believe a lot of that comes from the boot camp. So for those of you that are a little bit on the fence and you're just not really sure, about getting some of these things done, you're contemplating, do you come in to get some real help from real coaches and whatnot. The fact that we do literally pull back the curtain and show you everything, and if you are wanting to truly launch, man, I would take a serious look at coming live to these boot camps, it's kind of forces you to get it done. And I know we all need a little bit of accountability. The same reason, like you think about why you go to a gym and you hire a personal trainer, right? It's because if that personal trainer is expecting you to be there, you're going to show up, you can do the workout. It's sort of what the boot camp's like. So if you are considering, man, I'd highly recommend come to the boot camp. It's going to be another amazing 8 weeks together. So good stuff.
Jeff,
Great stuff.
Pull that microphone down a little bit.
Yeah.
Cool. So so let's get into today's conversation, and we'll talk about a lot about some of the things that we're talking about in the boot camp as well. So the reason that I believe that it's so important to add AI and incorporate AI into your programs is because we are at a point where people are just kind of sick of taking courses, right? I mean, there's a stat out there that only 10% of people complete a course. And think about it from your perspective. If you, like, let's say you wanted to make $1 million. If I could would you rather me give you a pill that you could take and you instantly have $1 million, or would you rather go through 40 hours of my course and consume that content? Jeff, what's your choice?
Of course. Everyone's going to choose the pill, man. I mean, we
Right,
live in a
So
microwave society.
People want the transformation. They don't want to consume your course. So however you can get there as fast and as easy as possible, that is what they would prefer. And that increases the value of your program, right? If I had a pill that would do that, I would be very, very rich, right, Jeff?
Yeah,
so if I can get as close to that as possible, it will also help me to add value to my program and make more money. Because a lot of times what happens in communities and with coaching programs, particularly in recurring revenue type programs, is people come in, they get overwhelmed by all the things that they have to do, the courses they have to watch, and all this stuff that they have to consume. And then they got to implement. And so they end up just getting overwhelmed and they don't get good outcomes. They don't take action, and then they end up churning. So that's a big problem, right? Now, how does AI integration kind of solve that problem? So what does it actually mean to add AI to your coaching program? I'm not just talking about, going to ChatGPT, doing some research with ChatGPT, creating some content with ChatGPT, or just teaching your members how to use ChatGPT or some of these other AI tools. People already know how to do that. I'm talking about you need to start building AI tools into your offering to help make it faster and easier for your clients to implement what you teach. That's basically what I'm talking about here. And so we're shifting from an information type delivery to a AI assisted delivery, right? Plus of all, it frees up your time. It helps you to, give your clients better results, helps them to get results faster. This is where everything's going. And I honestly believe if you're not doing this, you are going to fall behind your competition. Your competition is doing this. I guarantee it. So we'll also kind of talk about, how you can start to implement these tools into your business and how it actually adds value. But what I want to show right now is I want to give you some real life examples of how I'm using this in our 10K community blueprint. So I'm going to share my screen right here. And so this is the 4 phases that we're going to be going through in the 10K community bootcamp. So each week we basically implement a step of this process. And by the end of it, all of our members have a complete 10K community system set up. So they'll have everything that they need to build a 10K community. Now, obviously this is, work. You got to do stuff, right? But what I've done is I've made everything a lot easier by creating AI tools that help people do this faster and easier. So for instance, the first step that we get everybody to do when they're first launching their community is to build out what we call a product roadmap. So your product roadmap is essentially the step-by-step process that you take people through to help them get the transformation that they're after, right? So you need a map that you're going to take people through to help them get the results. So just like I said, this is my product roadmap. We eat our own dog food here. I've built out my own product roadmap, and this is an example of it. Now, once you have this document, this is basically like the source code of your entire business. Once you have this document, everything else becomes a whole lot easier because now you have something where you can give it to AI and it can understand your business, right? Okay. And so what have I done to help people to do this? Well, we actually created, I don't know if it's going to be able to hear. I don't know if I can share. I should have figured this out, I guess, but yeah. Anyway, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but basically what happens is I can turn this on voice mode and say, hey, can you help me build out my product roadmap? And this tool will start to ask me the questions that to interview me on the process to pull out my product roadmap. And then after it's done, it will give you a document that has your product roadmap. So within 30 minutes, I've just had a conversation with AI that's helped me to create this product roadmap. Used to, I would have a bunch of exercises that people had to go through, and people just wouldn't do it because you're staring at a page and it looks like a lot of work. But now all they have to do is go turn the voice mode on and start having a conversation with this AI tool, and then they've got it done. All right. So we've done the same thing. So now once we actually have the roadmap, the next step we get people to take is to create what we call the founding member offer or beta offer. I want our members to make money as quickly as possible. So the next step after they've already created the product roadmap, let's say it took you 30 minutes to create your product roadmap, we have another AI tool that will take that product roadmap. Here it is. And you'll paste it in there and then have another conversation with this AI tool, and it will help you to build out an irresistible offer. Now, once we have the offer, I want people to go to their warm audience, people that they would think that is a good fit for their program, and start trying to sell it right away. I want them to bring in cash flow right away. And so that's what the next step we teach. And so now within about an hour, you're able to go sell and make money, right? You don't even have to, at this point, we haven't even built the community. Okay. So that is another tool that we've built that's AI powered to help them assist them through the program. Next thing that we teach, and I'm just kind of going through the launch phase here, is the community funnel. So we set up the community in a certain way, and we have certain types of posts that we create. We help them write the About Us page, and we set all that stuff up, and that becomes the funnel that we use to get people onto a phone call where we can now present that offer that we just created. Okay. And so how do we help people to do this with AI? Well, we've developed some tools that will actually write your About Us page. So it'll write your About Us page, it'll write your auto DM, and it will write your book a call post. So if I go back to my I'll zoom in here, some of the method, and it will also write your email nurturing sequence. Okay. So some of the mechanisms that we use when people join our community to book calls is we have the auto DM, the AI tool writes that. We have the pinned book a call post, AI writes that. We have the About Us page that gets more people to convert once they land on the About Us page. AI writes that. And then we also have the email nurturing sequences that AI writes. And we also have AI that writes the daily posts. So you can see how I've started to integrate AI in every single piece of our program so far. And this is just the launch phase. Then this is super cool. The next thing that we suggest, a lot of people want to go build out these really intense, big free courses. And we just talked about people are kind of over information overload. They want results. They don't want to consume your content. Also in the free community, I just told you when somebody buys a course, only 10% of the people actually finish the courses. You can imagine that that's much lower in a free community. So a lot of people want to add hours and hours of content to the free community, the course material, and nobody's going to consume that, first of all. Secondly, your free members believe that since there's so much content in the free community, they need to sit there and consume that content because maybe they can get the result from the free content and not to have to upgrade to your elite membership or your paid membership. So instead, what we teach is taking your product roadmap. We have a certain structure that we use for webinars, which, by the way, I just shared these results with you here. Where is it? Anyway, I shared a result with you. Oh, Carrie right here. Got 11 new clients in 1 week by using this webinar structure. Basically, she did the webinar. She got 11 new clients into her paid community, both monthly and annual members. And so what do we have for that, Jeff? Well, you guessed it, buddy. We have a tool that will write the webinar for you from your product roadmap. Again, I told you how important that product roadmap is. You come in here, you paste it in. Can you analyze my program and create my webinar script for me? And then it will write the entire script. So it'll give us the slide text that goes on the slides, and it will have the slide deck notes or the speaker notes that are in that slide deck. And then we have another AI tool that we upload this script to, and it will actually build out all the actual slides. So everything that I've done so far I've had something with AI that helps assist this. So literally you could sit down in a day and you could have your offer created, you could have your product roadmap, you could have a webinar created, and you could be ready to launch your community, all because of AI. Otherwise, if I hadn't created all that stuff, it would have probably taken at least a week, and then people just procrastinate and put stuff off. So it's probably going to take more like months. Okay. But now we've shrunk the time that it takes people to execute and get results. So let me go back here, Jeff. So anything to kind of add about what we just went over?
Well, I think that a lot of people need to understand when you say, AI, right? Part of that is this understanding too, that it does the heavy lifting. It's doing 70, 80%, but it's always going to still need your touch, your unique, angle on things. And so I don't want you to get lost in that thinking that, you create this AI tool, it does 100% for you and you don't add anything to it. I mean, it's really an assisted approach. And I'm glad you used that word, because I don't want people to think that like we just go to AI and somehow like we click a couple buttons and it spits out a program or spits out our system, because it comes initially from all of the hard work and time and effort we've put into testing all of this.
Yeah.
And then you've just been able to prompt it in a way that it gives out amazing results, from those prompts. And it obviously makes it unique to individuals. So just don't want people thinking that, somehow it's just a matter of so easy. You just, go in and use AI and it just develops everything for you, because it still needs you and your touch and making it personal. So I think that's one of the big kind of caveats. And, the only other thing that, I think is there's some value to kind of share with this is that, when you're thinking about, developing your program and that, it's always coming from your process, and each of us have that proprietary process or that unique steps, things that you've experienced in your life that is the beginning point, that roadmap of your system. So everything you've created is amazing, by the way, if you ever do this, but
Mm-hmm.
it still comes from somebody having a unique process or a system that they've lived through or developed or created. So it's still theirs. And I think that's just kind of one of those caveats that people need to understand, that AI is not replacing you. It's literally an add-on, an assistant, but it's coming from who you are by what you're putting in. So anyway, I'll get
Yeah,
off the
exactly.
soapbox on that, but
Yeah. So, and kind of the difference between, I'm using AI, and going to like Chat GPT or Claude and just having a conversation with it is what we call building these trained AI tools. What's the difference in that? Well, let me share my screen again. So, and Chat GPT has these too, but basically in Claude, and we use Chat GPT also, you can create projects. And in Chat GPT, you can also create custom GPTs, which is very similar to a project. A project's just you're using it for your own use. A custom GPT is something you can share with other people. With Claude projects, you can't, unfortunately, you can't share with other people. But basically how this works is when you create a custom GPT, let's just do test, or a custom GPT or project, you have system prompts. So this is where you'll basically tell the project or the tool what its roles and responsibilities are and kind of how to execute its task, right? Or what it will do to execute the task. And then to give it the training it needs to execute that task, you basically upload files that are the knowledge base. So you upload the knowledge base. So this is like PDFs, documents, other like references to, your product roadmap, things like that. So it understands how to execute the task. So basically you can think of it as an employee. An employee comes in and you give it its roles, that person's roles and responsibilities, but it's had previous training on how to do things, right? If that makes sense. So think of these as like little employees that have specific skills that they're really, really good at. Okay. All right. So anything to add there, Jeff?
well, I think that the key element to take away from this is that what you've helped create with AI is it's collapsing the time frames. It happens very, very much quicker. And so I think the concept for me is like, sometimes I just want to know what time it is. I don't necessarily need to know how to build a watch, you know? It's like I want to go have barbecue for lunch, but I don't want to spend the 12 hours sitting back there with a smoker. And I think that's what AI can do. And I think that's exactly what you've been able to do with these, with the workspaces and the GBTs and stuff, is like you've been able to just fast track this to get the result that, what time is it? Not, hey, I got to build a watch and how do you do it? What's the factory look like? So I think that's where it's massively helpful to people. So I'm excited for you to show what you're going to be showing next, man. This is
Yeah, let
amazing.
me before I get into what I was about to say, I want to talk about how like AI can increase the value of your offering. So basically there's different ways that you can create these tools and different ways that you can offer them to your clients to add value to your offer. The first way, and you saw a little, let me share my screen again. You saw a little bit of a teaser on the tool that we have, which is Community AI. So we've built all these tools into these different studios. And you can see we've got community launch tools, we've got course creation tools, we've got community engagement tools, offer creation, all these different types of tools. And this is a studio. So I can add as many different types of tools I want to a studio. This tool right here is called Pickaxe. I'll drop this into chat just so people can see it. But anyway, this is a third-party tool where you can basically build these GPTs on, and you can gate them. So the thing about custom GPTs, if you go build a custom GPT on Chat GPT, when you build them and then you give the link to somebody, that's ungated. They have that link, and then now they can have access it all the time. With a tool like this, I can remove people from the tool if they cancel our membership, or they can even buy this separately. I could charge which I do. I have a one that I just charge for, and I actually started making money on it, and I didn't even know it. So, but anyways, so this one is going to be where if you have a monthly subscription, and you want to give your monthly subscribers more value by giving them access to this tool, but if they leave your membership, they will lose access. So this is going to increase the value because you're giving them tools that helps them execute your system. It's also going to help you to increase retention, which is good for your monthly retention, because they know if they leave, they'll lose access to these tools. And if you've made them valuable and they start using them in their everyday process, they're probably not going to want to leave and lose that tool. So this is going to increase your retention rate. And again, you can build these tools, and if people don't join your membership, you could have these tools available just as a separate subscription for like a discounted rate or something like that, or even more expensive, and they know if they can get it for less inside of the membership. So that's like that's basically if you wanted to gate your GPTs. Now, the next way you can do it is build these custom GPTs, just like I have with this irresistible offer one and the product roadmap tool. And so with these types of tools, these are ungated. So when somebody joins your community and you give them the link to these GPTs, they're always going to have access to the GPTs. Now, this is a little bit easier to manage because I don't have to like remove people or add people when people join. So it's a little bit easier to manage, but it really only increases retention if you basically rebuild these every month and change the link, right? Does that make sense? Because you've got to,
for sure.
Yeah. So once they have the link, they're always going to have it, but you can clone it and then delete the other one, and then you have a new link every single month, which is what we do for some of these custom GPTs. So that is a custom GPT. And then the final way, and that's good. It adds value, but it doesn't help as much with retention as it does to gate these things. Then the final way that you can do it is you can actually give people the system prompts and the knowledge bases that you've already built. You can sell these as tools, or you can only offer them to your higher. This is what we do for our annual members. You don't have to use our tools anymore. We actually give you the system prompts and the knowledge base. So you actually can build and install these tools into your own business. So for our annual members and boot camp members, by the way, if you wanted to join the boot camp, you get these tools that we've already done the hard work of testing them, figuring out, that these give a good output. And those are the ones that we offer to our annual members and to our high ticket clients. And so this is really high value because they now know that they get their own tools. They don't have to rely on your tools, and it increases the lifetime value because it's going to help you to, usually you're only going to offer these to higher ticket sales or your annual members. And so that's going to increase the lifetime value of each customer. And it's going to also help you to reduce churn, if that makes sense. Cool. Anything to add there? Any of that, Jeff?
No, it's great, man. I mean, you got it down. I mean, I would simply say, like, I have seen some people use some of the Chat GPT, like the GPTs, maybe as like a low ticket, like kind of entrance into their system, or sometimes they might offer that as a bit of a lead magnet. So, I've seen that a few times. But I like our approach more, which is, we're giving you the knowledge base and doing it for our higher ticket clients and stuff. So, but it can be used in different ways. So kind of keep that in mind as you're, using AI and, in your business.
Yeah. And then how do you actually do this? So how am I building these two tools super easier? I mean, I still have to test them and everything, but how can you start to implement this stuff into your business? Well, the best prompt writers are actual AI. So what we've done is I have developed an AI prompt designer that has a system prompt that it is specifically trained on creating the system prompts and some of the knowledge bases for these tools. So you can see every time that I want to create a tool, I come in here to the AI prompt designer and I basically tell it exactly what I want to build. It'll ask me a few questions and then it will develop the system prompt for me. I'll go in, I'll add the system prompt to either, I'll basically test it on both ChatGPT and Claude. And then I'll kind of go through the process that my clients would go through, and I'll figure out which one of the tools is best. And also, is it giving me the result that I want? And if it's not, I play around with it and try to figure out, okay, where's it going wrong? And then I adjust the system prompt for that. And so this is basically how I build all of the different AI tools in our business, and how you can do the same. And if you stick around just a little bit longer, I'll tell you how you can get this AI prompt designer if you want it.
This is crazy.
Do you guys want this prompt? If you don't want it, that's fine. Give me a thumbs up or something. I hope I can see you guys in the chat, or you can drop it into the community AI post. I mean, the community builders post that I shared earlier. But let's basically talk about the business impact. How is this going to impact your business by becoming a AI powered coach, right? Well, first of all, it's going to increase your clients' results because they're going to take more action. They're going to be able to do it faster and easier. And so they're going to be more satisfied with your business. They're going to give you better testimonials because you helped them to get a result faster and actually take action. The biggest thing in this whole business is nobody takes action. If you just took action, you would have a much higher percentage chance of winning in this game, because through action, you start to learn and iterate and improve on everything you're doing, and you get feedback. The only way you get feedback is by taking action. And these AI tools are going to help people to take action. Also, for you as the coach, it helps you to justify charging higher prices, right? And it's going to reduce your churn in your monthly subscriptions, because they know that if they leave, they're going to lose access to these tools. And if these tools are valuable enough, they're not going to want to lose access to those tools. Okay. And then finally, the competitive advantage of doing this in your niche. I believe, because I've built these AI tools, I don't know anybody else that's going as deep with these AI tools as I am. Now, I know some people have some AI tools, but I don't know if I haven't heard of anybody with as many AI tools that helps people through the entire process. And I believe that gives me a unique, it definitely helps me to stand out. I don't know if it gives me an advantage. There's other people that are making more money than me, but we are starting to get a lot of notoriety and people enjoying our process and our tools. So I do think that it can give you a competitive advantage, especially if you're the first one to start doing it in your niche. Now, that opportunity is shrinking because as more and more people learn AI, somebody's going to do this if you're not doing it in your niche. All right. So I think we got 22 people on here. Do you guys want to know? I haven't seen any thumbs up in the comments or anything that lets me know that anybody wants this AI tool. So maybe they don't want it, Jeff.
Well, first of all, I can't believe you're actually, you know what it's like? It's like somebody giving the Kentucky Fried Chicken like a recipe for all the herbs and spices that are top secret, right? Or the Coke formula. Like you're literally giving people the formula. I still can't believe you're doing this. Like this is crazy. But
well,
I
they got
guess
to
if they're
do
not
something.
going to
I
be,
mean, I'm not just giving it away.
right. Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, even just offering this is crazy to me, and I'm so blown away that you're going to do this.
Yeah. So if you join Elite, and then you DM me proof that you watched this episode by Monday, September 15th, I will share this AI prompt designer with you so that you can start creating these AI tools in your business. You have to join Elite. I'll drop this into the chat. And I'll tell you what, Jeff, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to open up the trial so that people can test out Elite. But I'm not going to give you the AI prompt designer until you actually join. But I'm going to open up the trial for people to actually come in and test out Elite.
Awesome.
So they don't, if you don't want to join it, don't join it, and you still don't get the prompt. But you at least got to test and see if you were interested.
Wow.
So let me turn on. Let me turn on that real quick. Jeff, you didn't even know I was doing this.
I did not know. Yeah. I'm still it's like giving the secret sauce. Like you're literally giving away the recipe, but that's okay. Because at the end of the day, we are always transparent. We want our people to win. And you win by taking action. So if you take action, you do it. So I want to add something, just spur of the moment here. If you join right now in the trial, I will do a session with you where we'll work and figure out your bottleneck, where you are right now, and like get you a game plan of like what you need to do to make this happen. Now, I can't help you with all the technical AI stuff like Ron can, but I'll jump on a call from a strategy standpoint, get your next best move. And so literally this is crazy. You're going to get a trial. You're going to get a session with me to help you figure out your bottleneck. When you become a member, you're getting the recipe and the prompt of prompts. So yeah, I mean, this is a pretty irresistible offer here. I guess we're, as you say, doing what? Eating our own dog food here.
Yeah. So the prompt, to get the prompt, you have to become a paying member of Elite. But right now, I just opened the trial. If you want to come in and test this out before you join, so that you actually know that it's worth it, then you can come in for 7 days and join. But if you want to get the AI prompt designer, you have to become a paying member before Monday. So you've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to kind of come in and play around, see if it's something you're interested in. And then as long as you upgrade before Monday, then I will give you this AI prompt designer. And honestly, it's changed my entire business. And trust me, you need to be doing this.
That's great.
Okay. So that is, that's it. I don't see any questions coming in. I know that Richard is kind of asking questions in Community Builders Free. Richard, I know that you are in the trial currently, I believe. So as long as you upgrade your Community Builders Elite membership by Monday, then I will give you this AI prompt designer. Wow. And I'll type that into the comments in your question. And I don't see any other questions coming through in the chat or on the post. So I guess we will end it for today. Hopefully this was valuable for some folks. We had several people on for a while, so hopefully guys got some value. And if you want that, trial, then I've dropped the link into the comment section. So you should be able to join, and hopefully we'll see some of you guys and you'll get that AI prompt. All right. So we'll end it for today. Thanks for joining us, guys. And we'll see you next time. Also, 20 minutes from now, if you guys want to learn how to grow your communities with Instagram ads, then inside of our calendar in Community Builders Free, there is a link to join that training. It's coming up in 20 minutes. So don't miss that one because it's going to be awesome. And we'll see you over there. See you guys.
Awesome. See you guys.